Danny Mitchell here, Team Iron Fighter. Andy's my little show for today, taking me to the gym. So, yeah, different video today. I actually got asked on Instagram how I balance training. So between MMA and triathlon training. So that is going to be the little theme, if you like, of today's video. So we're just on our way to the unit in Rosington, which is my friend Connor Halliday's MMA gym. I just teach a little class there on a Wednesday night. So we're just heading there, and yeah, I'll put some stuff together to answer that question. So thanks for that, and yeah, check this out. So the whole essence of Team Iron Fighter is that it's a hybrid between MMA training and triathlon training, and there's a lot of ways that I compare them, which is a whole other video in itself. How they're very, very similar sports. So yeah, it's that hybrid style of training. So you're training almost for two sports at once and mixing them together. So yeah, give you a little bit of insight on how I do it. So like I said, tonight's brought me to the unit in Rosington, teaching a little grappling class for the young MMA fighters, young up and comers training now. So yeah, basically, my training split is I train twice a day. I actually train 3 times a day, but the first session is literally a 15-minute mobility / yoga / stretching session. So I make sure every day I do 15 minutes of mobility, and it could change every day. You know, if I've got a knee injury, I've got a back injury, so sometimes I might focus on my back, I'll stretch my back, mobilise my back. Sometimes it could be my hip, I'll struggle with my left hip, or it could be my knee. So that's the first thing I do, is make sure I hit that every day. No matter what, no matter if it's a rest day, whatever, I make sure I always hit that. So that's the number one. And then number 2 is I'll train in the morning, so I'm always training morning and evening, or morning and sort of like later afternoon. So my typical training is 10:30 in the morning, and I try and just do MMA training in the morning. So that would be grappling, striking, wrestling, any MMA training is done in the morning. And that happens most days. So most days I will do that. Obviously you got to listen to your body. Again, with knee injuries, back injuries, I can't always do lots of grappling. Striking tends to be the easiest thing to sort of jump in and out of in terms of injuries. Yeah, so not been getting lots of grappling in recently, but every day doing something, like I say, striking, wrestling, grappling, even if it's just drilling techniques, that's every morning. And then my second session of the day is triathlon training. Could also be strength training. So sometimes I'll typically do 1 or 2 strength sessions a week, and they'll just be a full body session at this moment in time. I'll do a little bit of everything, a bit of push, a bit of pull, a bit of legs, a bit of everything. But yeah, on a night it's going to be swim, bike or run. Sometimes combining, like a brick, we will do a bike into a run, which again, that's going to be another video. We're going to start talking about brick training and how that applies to MMA as well. So that's pretty much my training split through the week. Morning, MMA training, at night, triathlon training or strength training. And that balance works well for me, but obviously that's good if you don't have a job. So I've managed to build my business so I can just train full time. So that works really well for me, but that's not the ideal scenario for everyone. So for me, it's mobility training, 15 minutes. I typically do a 90-minute MMA session, and then my triathlon session could be anything from an hour to 2 hours at the moment. So yeah, that's it, that's my training, and that's how I split it. But let's look at some other ways you could split that as well. Right, I've set everyone grappling now, so I can do a bit more talking. But yeah, obviously most people are working a job, and it's getting that balance in around your job. So what I would suggest for people who want to
use this kind of hybrid style of training. And even like people like Nick Bear, he does like bodybuilding, he's lifting weights every day and doing running, you know, marathon training, triathlon training. So he's another really good person, much better than me obviously, to look at for this hybrid style of training. But this is just my perspective on it. So if you're working a job, a great idea is to do your triathlon stuff in the morning. So get up, do your running in the morning or bike. Most swimming pools have like an early morning lane swimming session, so you can do your swim, strength stuff. You know, do that in the morning, go to work, come back, and then you can do like your MMA training, boxing and stuff on a night. So that's a good split if you can do that. Obviously that's not for everyone. So another way you can split it is you can just split it by day. So, you know, Monday can be triathlon training, Tuesday can be MMA training, and you could alternate days. You get 6 days in a week like that. That'd be a really good way to split your time as well. So I am going to make another video on the similarities between MMA and triathlon, because they are basically sports made up of 3 sub-sports. So obviously triathlon is a swim, a bike and a run. MMA is striking, wrestling and grappling, and these do relate to each other and they do help each other, which is why I started Team Iron Fighter, and I believe it'll be really beneficial for a lot of people. So yeah, well, that's going to be another video comparing those, but that's basically it. So the balance is not doing the same thing. You know, I won't run in the morning, run at night. I keep them separate, and rather than having one day where I'm going to do all triathlon and one day where I'm going to do all MMA, if I'm doing 2 sessions, I keep them separate. I'm just rolling around here. I keep them separate. So again, if you're training twice a day, if you're able to do that, morning triathlon training, night fight training, or vice versa, that's a really good way to look at it. If you're low on time, you know, splitting it, so Monday, Wednesday, Friday is triathlon, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday is MMA, and have Sunday as a recovery day. That'd be another really good way to balance it. Yeah, some people might not even get that, so just getting in what you can is a start for people who are low on time. You know, like I say, getting in that 15 minutes a day for me is really important for that mobility stuff. So that's kind of my training plan. That's what it looks like. And the main thing then with most fighters and triathletes alike is avoiding overtraining. So that's something else that we need to talk about, is overtraining, which all fits into this balance. Guys are still rolling, and I made this little chart, if you like. So this is my training split. So here's the days of the week. Mobility 15 minutes, on Monday to Saturday, mornings are MMA training and evenings are triathlon training. This is typically 10:30, this is typically 4 or 5 PM. Sometimes that changes. For instance, on a Monday I'll swim at 7 just because that's when the session is. I'll still do my 10:30 session, so I have a nice big rest between. But that is my training. Sunday is active recovery, so steady walk, you know, even a steady jog, sometimes a steady cycle, sometimes nothing. And this is adaptable. So that comes down to this: overtraining or overreaching. Sometimes you're gonna be feeling really burnt out, and you need to just take it easy, take a rest day. So I'm not going to be hitting every single one of these sessions every week. Sometimes I might get this far, and this session, maybe I have to drop that session out, leave that session and just do this session and make this an easy session. So that's when we come to easy and hard days. Not every day am I going bang at it, trying to kill myself. So typically for me, Thursday is a very easy day. So the training load building up, by the time I get to Thursday, I need an easy day. So morning is like a technical session from grappling, and then on the night it's a bike and it's a nice steady spinning my legs. So yeah, that's kind of where the training is. And it's important, you know, are you overtraining or are you just overreaching? Overtraining is very bad. You need to stop, and it can take you a lot of time to recover. But overreaching, sometimes you're just pushing those barriers a little bit more, and then you can dial it back the next day, which is cool. That works. Overtraining is you're grinding your body into the ground. So make sure you know, are you overtraining or overreaching? Again, that's probably another another video in itself, but hopefully that makes sense.
So that's it for today's video, a little bit of a different video. If you got any other questions like that, feel free to inbox me on Instagram, Facebook, or just leave a comment below. But yeah, basically that's my training split. That's how I keep that nice balance between doing triathlon training and MMA. One other thing to note is that's my hybrid training routine, so I'm kind of dabbling in a bit of both. But if you was training for an MMA fight, you would taper off the triathlon training and focus more on the MMA training, put more of those sessions in, and same vice versa for the triathlon. You know, the last week of triathlon training, I'd be doing no MMA training, you know, so I'd slowly taper off the MMA and focus more on that. So you've got to be goal focused with your training, whatever sport you're training for. You know, if you're competing, that is the end goal. So you've got to bear that in mind. If you're just training for fun, it's great to get a good schedule in place. It keeps you accountable. If you know, I know every Monday night I'm swimming at 7 p.m. and if I miss that session, I feel bad. It doesn't go on my training diary. So it's good to have that schedule, and like I say, it keeps you accountable for them sessions. And if I do need to miss a session, I have got a genuine reason why, you know, I'm overtraining or I've got an injury, or I can sometimes adapt that session and change it and just make it so it's an easier session. So a lot of times, rather than skipping the session completely, I'll just do an easier version of that same session. So yeah, hope that helps. I'm really big on like scheduling training. I'm forever writing timetables and writing, you know, my schedule out and getting it nailed down. So hopefully that helps a few people with your training. If you need, again, any questions or anything, let me know. Any advice on scheduling your training, whether it's for fighting, for triathlon, for anything, for any sport can benefit from this type of split. Obviously, again, Team Iron Fighter, we're a hybrid. It's a hybrid of the two, of triathlon and MMA. So yeah, that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed. Hope I haven't bored you too much. Dribbling on. These are just finishing up grappling now, and I've got a bit of a sweat and I've hardly done anything. So yeah, that's it for today. See you next Wednesday.